mountain that may rewrite history. What if everything we thought we knew about one of the most sacred places in history has been wrong all along? What if the true Mount Sinai, the very mountain where Moses met with God, where fire fell from the heavens, and where a nation was born, was never where we were told to look? For centuries, religious pilgrims, scholars, and historians have focused their attention on Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. But now, emerging evidence, hidden for generations and largely ignored by mainstream archaeology, suggests the real mountain may be elsewhere, quiet, concealed, and watched closely. Welcome to a forgotten peak deep in the Arabian desert, a place fenced off, guarded, and kept from public view. A mountain whose features seem to match every biblical description, down to the scorched summit, the ancient altars, and the mysterious stone boundaries. A mountain that may not only confirm scripture, but awaken something greater. Before we begin this fascinating journey into history, mystery, and faith, please remember to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future explorations into ancient secrets, biblical discoveries, and spiritual insights. Now, let's uncover the mountain they don't want you to see. The biblical blueprint, details that demand a real place. The Bible is not vague when it describes the events at Mount Sinai. The book of Exodus provides rich, specific details, locations, objects, and sequences of events that are not just symbolic, but geographic and physical. Exodus 19 verse 18 tells us, Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. This was not a metaphor. It was a moment etched in stone. Fire, thunder, a trembling earth, and strict commands to build boundaries around the base of the mountain. The account even includes landmarks: an altar at the foot of the mountain, 12 stone pillars, a split rock that gushed water, and a vast plain where the Israelites camped. So if this event really happened, and the Bible records it in such tangible detail, then shouldn't we expect to find physical traces? And in the arid wilderness of northwest Arabia, we just might. Jebel al-Lawz, the forgotten mountain in Midian. Jebel al-Lawz is a towering peak rising over 8,000 feet from the desert floor in northwest Saudi Arabia, inside the boundaries of the ancient region known as Midian. This location is critical because according to Exodus, when Moses fled Egypt, he did not stay in the Sinai Peninsula, he went to Midian. There, he married the daughter of Jethro, a Midianite priest, and while tending sheep on the far side of the wilderness, he encountered the burning bush near Mount Horeb, another name often used interchangeably with Mount Sinai. This means from the earliest moments of Moses' journey, the geography points not to Egypt, but to Arabia. And what's found at Jebel al-Lawz is nothing short of remarkable. A split rock in a dry land. Exodus 17 describes a dramatic scene. The Israelites, weary and thirsty, demand water. God commands Moses to strike a rock at Horeb. When he does, water gushes out to satisfy an entire nation and their livestock. In the Arabian desert, miles from any village or water source, stands a towering 60-foot granite rock, split cleanly down the middle, not cracked from erosion, but dramatically split, as if by force. At its base, ancient water channels are carved into the stone, signs of significant and sudden water flow in a region that sees almost no rainfall. Could this be the very rock struck by Moses? It's impossible to say with certainty, but the match is breathtaking. Altars, calves, and the shadow of rebellion. At the foot of Jebel al-Lawz lies a strange stone structure, an ancient altar formed of large, flat rocks. Around it are petroglyphs, rock carvings of bulls and calves. These images are extremely rare in Arabian art, yet they mirror exactly what we find in Exodus 32, when the Israelites fashioned a golden calf and worshipped it in Moses' absence. This wasn't just idolatry, it was rebellion against the God who had just delivered them. The existence of these carvings so close to the mountain suggests not a random coincidence, but a powerful echo of that moment of failure and divine anger. The imagery aligns with scripture not symbolically but literally. 12 pillars for 12 tribes. Another detail from Exodus is equally intriguing. In chapter 24, we're told that Moses built 12 stone pillars, each representing one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Near the same site in Arabia, explorers have documented 12 distinct stone columns, weathered by time, but clearly arranged with purpose. Their presence, so close to the scorched mountain and altar, fits the biblical account with uncanny precision. These aren't abstract religious symbols. They are archaeological clues, physical manifestations of a story written thousands of years ago. Barriers at the base, the command not to touch. One of the most solemn commands God gave to Moses was this: put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not go up the mountain or touch the foot of it. Exodus 19 verse 12. The Bible describes stone boundaries encircling Mount Sinai, barriers between the sacred and the profane. At Jebel al-Lawz, researchers have identified rows of ancient stone markers forming a perimeter around the mountain's base. They do not resemble agricultural walls or the remains of a settlement. Instead, they look like boundary markers, set intentionally, methodically, forming a line that still stands after thousands of years. Why would ancient people go to such lengths unless they believed this place was holy, untouchable, divine? The blackened summit, burned from heaven? From satellite imagery, for one startling reason, it is scorched black. Unlike the surrounding peaks, which retain their natural brown granite appearance, this mountaintop looks charred, as if something intense, perhaps even heavenly, struck it. Yet geologists confirm there is no evidence of volcanic activity. The blackening appears to be the result of extreme heat exposure, but no one can explain how it happened. Is this the residue of Exodus 19, where we're told the Lord descended in fire? Smoke like a furnace? The mountain trembling? Could this be the very summit touched by God? Why is it fenced off? If Jebel al-Lawz is just another desert mountain, why is it under such heavy guard? Saudi authorities have long restricted access to the site. Fences surround the area. Military checkpoints patrol the region. Travelers and researchers report detentions, confiscated equipment, and deleted footage. Satellite images of the region unusually appear in lower resolution compared to the rest of Saudi Arabia. As if intentionally obscured, there is no known military base, no oil refinery, nothing of apparent strategic value. So why the secrecy? What is being hidden? And why? The cost of changing the narrative. If Jebel al-Lawz truly is Mount Sinai, then everything changes. Religious tourism, concentrated for centuries around Egypt's traditional Sinai site, would face upheaval. Churches, monasteries, and pilgrim routes, built on long-held assumptions, would be called into question. Academic institutions, too, would have to re-examine decades of teaching. And that's why many resist. It's not always about disbelief. Often it's about cost. Financial, theological, emotional. Because truth, even sacred truth, comes with disruption. Prophetic moment. Why now? Isaiah and Micah spoke of a time when the mountain of the Lord would be lifted up, and people from all nations would turn to it. In Luke 8 verse 17, Jesus said, "There is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed." So why is this mountain being revealed now? In our generation, with the tools to see what ancient eyes could not, God may be calling us back to something ancient, something holy. It's no longer hidden by sand or time. The question is whether we are willing to look. This discovery is not about curiosity. It's about calling. It's a divine invitation. Conclusion: a mountain still speaking. Jebel al-Lawz may be more than a forgotten mountain. It may be a voice calling out across generations. We now stand at a crossroads. The evidence is here. The rocks, the boundaries, the blackened summit. They all tell the story. Not in vague metaphor, but in stone, in fire, in fact. So what will we do? Will we ignore it? Or will we listen? Because if this is the mountain where God once spoke, perhaps He is speaking again. And maybe, just maybe, He's speaking to you. If you found this exploration powerful, please share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe, and join us next time as we continue uncovering the ancient world and the faith it still shapes. This is not just history. This is prophecy, etched in stone.